Okay, we're live. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody, by the way. Hope everyone has had a wonderful start of the year. I think from what I've seen so far, 2022 has started in full force. Everybody's so busy already. And it seems that 2022 started definitely longer than just 3 weeks ago. So I wanted to quickly pop in here because I just finished a webinar on engaging and motivating hybrid teams, and I had some great questions from people who were attending the webinar, and I wanted to share some of those questions and some of those answers with you because I'm sure that some of you might have the same questions. And so these were so great questions to receive. So for example, one of them was, we were talking about the importance of running well-being initiatives in the team, in the organization, and those kinds of initiatives that are not necessarily top-down projects, but rather networked solutions where you have people who have an idea, who want to take that initiative and build something that helps people on their team or maybe people on other teams as well. So well-being in this context was huge. And somebody asked, okay, so how can I make sure that my well-being initiative, let's say my team comes up with an initiative around well-being, and how can I make sure that that is going to be well received when the organization is not there yet? They haven't thought about that particular initiative or that particular solution. What can I do so that it is well received? So one of the things that you want to have a look at is definitely the trial and error process in your team. So the more you allow your team to try out stuff, the more it's a safe to fail environment, the better. Because let's say you are creating a group for for parents who have small kids, who need to communicate with one another, who need to share solutions with one another, but also complain about stuff, share their challenges and things that they still don't think that they have control over. So let's say you're creating that particular group in your team. Now, you want to see how that goes and what results it gives, and how happy your team members who are part of that group are going to be about belonging to that group and how helpful it is. And then you can actually manage upward, and you can take that particular initiative, you can talk about it with somebody that you're reporting to and say, hey, by the way, in my team we've tried that and it has these results, and I was thinking maybe it might be helpful for other teams to participate in this project or in this initiative. And then it becomes a down to top initiative, or not even down top, but it becomes more network because it starts from your team and it moves towards the other teams in other departments in the organization. So that creates that sense of community, and that builds on the trust and the engagement and motivation levels in the team. So that was a beautiful question. I was so happy to hear that people were asking about that because, by the way, well-being initiatives, these were a huge topic in the webinar that I just had today. So, and everybody on the webinar was so interested in what it is that we need to look for when it comes to creating some well-being initiatives in our organization, or maybe if not at the level of the organization, at least in our team, to get that sense of well-being. Another interesting question that I wanted to share with you was, for those of you who know the who are familiar with the team stages, storming, like forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. And in the storming phase, you, all of the teams actually, start that controversy and start disagreeing and start having conflict. And what I see a lot happening is a lot of team managers and team leaders being afraid of that conflict, because that takes us away from collaboration, from efficiency, effectiveness, performance, all of that good stuff that we want to build. But here's the thing, because we're all in a stage of transition right now, when we're strategizing and planning to keep change in place for longer and to make it work longer term, transition in itself as a process takes a huge emotional toll on everybody. That's why well-being initiatives are super important. That's why having these conversations in your team where people are allowed to have disagreements. Disagreements are great in a team because they will give you important data about what people are afraid of, what people think the risks are, why people think some of the measures are not going to work, or what is not working at the moment. What are our struggles right now? Why don't I feel engaged in my work about the project that we're working on? You're getting very, very precious information from your team in these conversations while addressing the emotional toll. Because what transition does is it asks the teams and it asks you as the leader to let go of some of the things that you used to be doing the way that you used to be doing them, because now we need to operate differently. Now we need to do things differently. And that takes an emotional toll. That's hard. Letting go, that kind of ask is hard. And it does take an emotional toll, and it really brings in a certain level of grief. So, unless we address that, we cannot expect to have logical, rational conversations where we really plan and strategize for the future, unless we also address the disappointment, the frustration, the anxiety, the exhaustion, everything that comes with that process of transition. So, understanding that these conversations, that disagreements, and that tough conversations as a team is not going to lead us further away from collaborating. It just will help us if they're done well, and you have a good structure for them, and you do that well, and you encourage those conversations that are productive. Disagreements can really boost creativity and innovation, because then you come and ask, okay, knowing all of this, and you put everything down and you say, okay, you know what, knowing all of this, what is it that we can do to improve the situation right now? What would be some solutions? And then we open up, and then everybody is included in the conversation. And when you include everybody in the conversation, that's what team leadership is all about. Because all of the people in your team, you have them there for a reason, because they have something to say. They're experts in something. You brought them on board because they were good at something, and you won their opinion when it comes to planning for something big that we're moving towards together. You want to ask for their input. And when you do that, that builds on trust, on the levels of engagement and motivation. Because when I feel included, that's when I really feel motivated and engaged. If I'm not included in the conversation, How long am I going to feel motivated and engaged for? Really? All right. So this is what I wanted to share right now. Now, if you want more answers to your questions, if you have similar questions to these, if you're leading a team right now and you're looking for some answers, yes, you can Google them, but I invite you to Google them, absolutely. But from what I've heard from the people that I work with, yeah, that takes a lot of time, and you're never sure that you're getting the right answer that's tailored to your particular situation. So if that's the case, come join us on the leadership coaching time. Take some time and make some time for yourself, time to fill your leadership growth cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. Who takes care of you as the team leader or as the team manager, right? First of all, you take care of yourself. So make some time for the leadership coaching time on January 28th between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. The link to save your complimentary seat is in the description. So just click the link. And by the way, as you register, you will also have the opportunity to already submit your question for the session so that we make it even more productive and efficient and effective and all of the good stuff that we're about. All right. So have a great week and see you there for some leadership coaching time. Bye for now.